It's looking great, isn't it?
No! I mean, what the have we done?
If you enjoy videos about renovating a chateau in France, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and then the bell button to receive notifications. Spring and summer is beautiful at the chateau. Birds in the trees, insects flying around, colourful flowers. It really is fantastic. But we are located in the northwest of France. So unlike most of the movies you'll see where it's bright sunshine, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we quite often get a heavy spell of rain every so often, just like the UK. Great weather for ducks and for weeds growing, not so much for getting work done on a deadline. Spring is wonderful, sunshine's wonderful, rain is wonderful in between that. When you've got those all in the same day, everything goes really, really, really quickly and you can't really get round to doing anything because it's throwing rain down. The result is not fantastic and it's a lot of work. Everything's overgrown, the place is a mess full of weeds and it's been impossible to try to get it cut back. And now we're on a deadline.
And what we're doing today is going to be planting these 30 bushes. They are lovely low-rise bush rosy variety in beautiful pink colour. And the idea is that they will go along the bank in front of the chateau just behind me here. And they will be flowering from spring all the way until autumn, which gives it a long flowering period. They're really low maintenance and it's something that we've been thinking for a while, how to add colour to this place with minimal effort. So first things first, Billy is gonna have to prepare the bank for us. And it's nice to find, every time we do a new job, find new flowers that we haven't planted here before, just appear out of nowhere, which is like a little bit of a little reward. So what I'm gonna do is dig this one out and replant it somewhere. I've looked this up, it's pretty flower and I quite like it.
Here's the bank. And as you can see, that's not much of a bank, it's more like a small jungle thanks to these superb growing conditions that's been the last month and now continuing. This is where I managed to do with a fork, turning over by hand, having cut everything out. And we need to carry on, but I'm not doing it all by hand. As you can see from Angelina stood next to it, it's not exactly small. Use my wife as visual representation. Please don't get lost. So I've borrowed a tool, not just for this job, for another one, so we can try to get this done quickly. Let's go play with some new tools. I don't want to do this by hand. Not much into manual labour when I can avoid it. And remarkably, even though they know me really well, somebody's lent me quite an expensive piece of equipment, which should get the job done quite quickly, but also has rather a large potential for some disaster. But I'm going to go with what could possibly go wrong.
And so here is Billy arriving with the temporary help tool. So he can start digging this area up for us and make a light job of it all. Safety in position first. Time to start digging, I guess.
think I've made too much of a mess.
And so here is the first pass. Still practicing, but it's pretty clear and nice and neat. Takes just the top layer off, and the weeds are just simply dumped there, but it has picked out everything and made such light use of all of this work. The most important thing is for the bucket not to get too close to the stones so it doesn't damage it. Unfortunately, this wall is already kind of damaged, where the stones have fallen out in places, but overall they're all pretty much here. And my job in here is using a rake to simply rake out any leaves that are, or weeds that are trying to fall over, so I can see where the grading bucket is gonna be lifting the soil from, so it doesn't obviously grab and destroy any of that retaining wall. So that's my job over here.
I've managed to do with the digger in an hour what I managed to do in an entire day by hand over there. In fact, I've done twice as much, I think, looking at it. It's much easier. It is obviously a bit messier, and it's not as perfect as I'd like, but then it's been at least 5 years since I've driven a digger. So I'm not too disappointed in what we've done here, and we're going to crack on and get the job done, which is really important to try to get caught up at the moment. Halfway through and a quick stop for lunch. I don't think it's looking too bad. Not huge amounts of mess. It's looking quite good. And remarkably, I haven't put the digger in the moat yet. Let's just have to see if that stays the case after lunch. The weather gods have other ideas, so I'm going to go up to the kitchen garden and clear an area which doesn't matter about the tracks making quite so much mess. I mean, who would lend me a digger, honestly? Surely no one that actually knows what I'm like. It's like a kid. I just want to dig holes everywhere. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Not a bad bit of devastation. Looks quite bad though. Although, you know, it would do. It needs raking over, etc. Wonder how Angelina will react. Hopefully in a good way. Because now all of the huge bramble roots are dug out. I mean, just look at some of these. Big effort to dig those out. Because this entire area was just bramble. Now, it's sort of dug down. I've got rid of the stuff that's in the top. I've trucked around some topsoil. A rotavator will be helpful. And now it can be bramble free and a planting area. I can see the vision. It doesn't just look like I'm trying to recreate a scene from the Battle of the Somme. I'm sure Angelina will have the vision to see my vision. If she doesn't, this could be my last broadcast, viewers. Remember me. What have you found?
A berry, finally, our first berry. The yellow one, look. Lorna's berry bush. What is it? Black,
Raspberry.
no, thornberry. Yeah, raspberry. It's so cool. Is it ready?
No.
Almost. You know how you know? Oh, it is ready, look. It's come off. Yeah, half for you, half for me. Half a berry. Delicious.
Well, that half a berry was worth all of the effort.
More, 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 more.
Okay, are you ready to see what I've done for you?
Yeah, show me.
You may open your eyes.
Yes. Sorry. Eyes adjusting to light. Wow. That's good, isn't it? That's real good.
Yeah, there were some casualties in all of this.
Yeah, cool.
The chair didn't survive.
How did that happen?
It fell over in the wind.
With the wind?
I didn't hit it with the digger, honest.
Well, you're going to have to sift through that and find the plastic and separate the rubbish, because you can't take that to the skip like that. It's unethical.
What do you...
The soil is really good. I mean, yeah, it's moist and wet, but it's quite dark, so that tells me obviously it's full of nutrients, but it might be because it's wet. But overall, this gets lots of sunlight, and I plan to plant corn in here. I've got this Japanese variety, like multicolored. They look really cool and awesome, and the foliage is really decorative as well. And also some sunflower seeds for the flowers and the seeds for the birds, so that, yeah, they can look up at the sun and be like, hello, we're sunflowers.
Can I show you my query? So look at massive root balls like this for the bramble.
It's like an alien going.
Do I have to get rid of all of that, or is this all going to the skip? I don't...
Yeah, we can't leave the whole point of getting rid of the crown. Roots are fine of the brambles because they do nothing, but the crown, if that survives, it's just going to give a new. So you were meant to just scrape the topsoil.
I have been just scraping the topsoil. Look, it's just scraping the topsoil.
I think you scraped more than that. But practice, right? You're not perfect. You're not actually a machine digger.
Person.
Yeah. Do you know what? If we get a rake, right, like long for hay, you'll be able to sift the bramble from the soil. I'd imagine quite easily. And if some lucky survive, like miniature ones, it's no different to birds coming in, pooping, and then new brambles growing. So to just pick them out as we go. So let's just do that.
Okay, and somewhere over here is the wide angle attachment to the other camera on the floor. It fell out of the cab and fell off into the grass. I think that's a casualty.
What's it look like? I don't know.
It's about that big. Little magnetic attachment for the other camera.
Oh yeah, that's a loss.
Yeah.
Unless it's magnetic and we can use my fish magnet to locate it.
Might be underneath the mud by now.
Yes, it's not, well, yeah.
Okay. Well, this small amount of casualty for this much work, I'm kind of happy. Digger out the way, raked over. Devastation. Not quite as devastating as it first appears. Obviously a pile of stuff which actually has to go to the skip, but everything else is looking damn good considering it was 6 foot high brambles the other day and coming all the way out to the scar line in the grass, and it's the first time we've ever managed to get this far. Let's have a look a little bit closer at what we have done off camera.
Now that Philly has cleared all of this, finally, it was full of bramble, it needed to obviously go, and this is a prime spot, I figured, for my corn, which requires sun and also some sunflower seeds as well. They require a lot of sun. So I've just planted this really fun variety. It's multicolored. So it's going to be a complete surprise what pops up, because some could be completely different from this picture as well. Like some could be completely black. So I'm kind of excited because this variety is very colorful on the stem as well. So for all of this time, I'm going to see lots of color here. So it's quite fun. So I've got a few other things to plant as well here. I think it would be really fun. Some flowers as well for some areas. So I'm going to cultivate it from here. But this is a nice start.
Kitchen garden job done, and the sun's dried out the area so we can get back to the moat banks. Let's get this finished. I think it's a job well done. It's looking great, and now all the weeds are gone, so I can plant the rose bushes and make it look pretty. I'm not sure Angelina's going to have quite the same vision, as I might have made a small amount of mess. Of course, when I say a small amount of mess, it's a matter of perspective, I guess. It's not that bad. Although I am starting to worry, I've borrowed a digger which can dig deep holes, and Angelina made me pick up a bag of lime. I'm sure I've seen that in CSI about dissolving bodies, but she wouldn't do that to me.
I mean, how is this helpful? Seriously, look at all this.
My male intuition tells me Angelina is very happy with the results, and I'm so glad she's expressing it so vocally. It's wonderful to see someone just as happy with the results as I am. Angelina's praise carried on for some time, and her constructive criticism really told me she was proud of my efforts.
Look at it. I've got to get on one side.
If she's this happy now, I can't wait till she sees the finished result.
It was meant to be a simple job.
Tune in next time to see the progress and, of course, to see if I actually survive.
And as always, a special thanks to our VIP tier patrons. If you'd like to become a patron, then simply head over to the link in the description. That will open the page with all the membership levels, where you can read what each tier level offers. Also, a special thanks to anyone who buys us a coffee. Again, the link would be in the description comments. And if you'd like to buy us a coffee, head over to the link to buy as many coffees as you like and leave us a message. We love reading all the comments sent to us with the coffees.
And if anyone wants to follow us on Instagram or Facebook, the links are above now. And lastly, just thank you to everybody for watching our videos, especially those that let the ads run and help us with the little bits of pennies that add up for the channel. Thank you so much. See you next week.
If you like this episode, then don't forget to subscribe and check out the other episodes suggested coming up on screen now.